Today, the Appointments Committee of Parliament has continued to interface with several persons that the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, appointed as ministers, both cabinet and state ministers. Among those who have interfaced with the committee is the Cabinet Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Waliomunsi, and according to him, there are high hopes towards his successful interface, and he is to focus on about 3 key issues, including improving communication, means of government entities, broadband increment in ICT, among others.
Government by ensuring that the policies and works of government are properly communicated and accurate for the wider public to appreciate what the government does, both at the center but also at the lower levels. And also in the area of communications technology, to see that we deepen the digital space and ensure penetration of technology in all corners of the country, because technology is now what is driving development in many areas. And that I am committed to look at issues like the broadband, backbone infrastructure.
Chris also talked about the standards of information in terms of informing the public with news and information.
I think we shall examine the laws which are available and do 2 things. 1, make sure they are enforced, but 2, where there are gaps, we strengthen those laws through repeals or amendments through legislation, so that we guarantee the freedom and right to express yourself, but also you exercise adequate responsibility by ensuring that what you air out, what you communicate is accurate and informative, not just falsehoods or blackmailing people and so forth. So we shall have to do a careful balance to ensure that we guarantee those rights, but also they should move in tandem with responsibility.
He also commented on the issue of media practitioners who are among the poorly paid professionals.
Some of the labor laws which we have are not strong enough. Like we have not passed a law on minimum wage. So we shall address it, but in the context of the wider labor environment. But through, we shall engage the media owners and the media practitioners to see that it becomes a fair deal for you to work for the media. I know, yes, there is that exploitation, but I think through engagement and where necessary and possible, through legislation, we should be able to address those concerns.
In the same line, Minister Frank Kajiji Tumwebaze, who was appointed as the Cabinet Minister for Agriculture and Animal Industry and Fisheries, promised to fight the fake drugs on the market.
Zone the country, look at each sub-region of Uganda, look at the available commercial farmers and the means they are using, and then we talk to them on how we can scale up. The second point related to that is holistic regulation and struggle against animal and crop diseases. This is a priority for the country. It is a national threat. Fake agrochemicals, fake acaricides, they are a threat to our survival. This we must whip. The regulators must wake up such that people gain predictability in agriculture. If I lose a crop for 6 months I have invested in, if I lose a herd, then I'll give up.
He also urged youth to engage into agriculture.
Na Uganda fena tukwatire wamu, sijja kubeera minister wa office yoka, nja kutambula, nja kubeera wensobola kubeera tutegeere era nkatira abavubuka banange nange nkyali mu buvubuka ntonotono, tuleke kulaba agriculture nga omulimo omukyafu omukyamo ogw'abatasoma. Bajaja baffe ne batata baffe batuwa emmere ne tulya ne tukula ne bajjamu obusente ne tusoma.
Mary Goreti Kitutu, who was appointed as the Cabinet Minister for Karamoja region, has expressed fears of the Karamojong towards her ability to serve to their expectations, and this comes after members of Parliament from Karamojong region shown discomfort last week regarding the 2 ministers that do not hail from their region.
Also, if you are their leader. Now, what I have to assure the people of Uganda is Karamoja, yes, is an area which is very vulnerable in terms of climate change, It is one of the most vulnerable. It is water stressed. It has insecurity. And what you talk about, and even in the recent statistics, the poverty in Karamoja raised from 60 to 66. So I have to assure Ugandans that since I changed the trend of poverty in Bugisu, now we are on a downward trend. If we work together with the leaders in Karamoja, we should be able to turn these trends.
The committee is not open to non-members. However, yesterday, Butambala legislator Muwanga Chivumbi wanted to change the rules, but his intentions were turned down.
Of the committee of appointments are in the public. We've just approved the vice president, the prime minister in public. Government ministers for long have been approved in darkness. It is the only committee where even members of parliament are not permitted to enter or follow proceedings. And you are aware that upon completion of that process, you only come to parliament to announce the results of your process without debate. So the only way the country can know the quality of ministers that this country is going to have is to ensure that proceedings of this committee are open.
The vetting started yesterday with more than 20 ministers having been vetted as the process still continues to the end of this week. This story has been compiled by Isa Chigongo for Channel 44 Prime News.